I muted it. Had the mute button on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Right. Motherfucker. Right, let's thin this down. Cool. We've got queues opened. Bit of a gap below. So we can see there's our queue. It's only tiny. Probably will come fill it, but anyway. Nothing to get too excited about. Okay, 1 hour. Just taking the previous hour low, we're coming back down. I've had one big push up, very early for any correction on the hourly though. Back to the 4. So there's our 4 hour. So our 4 hours still bullish. Oh man. So just testing out some of the new features. So we've got half risk, 1.5 times risk. I can quick change. I can quick change my stop loss, and I no longer need to be on manual on auto trade to take the trade. So for example, I can click manual buy now. I'm going to use let's say we were looking for we're going to do candle. So we're going to say if we take the candle high, right? So I can turn that on, actually change it to half risk. So it's going to set a stop order. Yo, hey Crimson. When this candle closes. I'm going to add on. I need to get rid of these this text. So I'm going to go on. So we're just sat inside the 4 hour at the moment. How's everybody's week going? I'm a little bit tired. I've been at it for nearly 2 weeks now. So previous candle was invalidated because we took the low. So no order fired. Big money traffic lights is just starting to align. Just bouncing off our 4. So let's test that again. We're going to do half risk and we want to use candle. So this is a new update I'm just working on to put out. Which graph? So this is NQ. But I do gold as well. Sounds too low. No worries. We can fix that. Is that any better? Yep. Thanks for the heads up. Much appreciated. So I think what I've done is my chart trader is not set to the account, which is why we can't see the order. Let me just hide that. Right, so you can see that it placed the order above the candle. Right. Auto calculated the risk, and then because we took the candle low, it removed the order. Invalidated, right? So these are all being pre-built into the indicator for you, as well as the auto trade. So it'll take the next signal and then turn off. When a signal lines up, we can see at the moment, I need to get rid of this text. Does anyone know how to hide this fucking text? All the indicator. It's doing my head in. Oh, the change from TradingView to NinjaTrader. I've only ever used it for executions. Not really for indicators, but our transition to NinjaTrader is making it easier to execute, having it all on the one chart. So let's just zoom out a bit. Let's check our important levels, see what we've got. So important levels, you can see the labels are just a bit too hard. That's my save template. So if we go into important levels, right, and then scroll down to label offset, just set that to 20, and then I'm going to save it as my template as well. Apply. Labels will move. So we can see we've got Asia below, right? So not a bad trade. I'm going to use, if we get a short, I'm going to use the alpha zone as my stop. Let's use half risk. really quick changes that I don't have to stress about, right? Really quick changes. So the 4 hour is holding like a boss. You can see that level was just held. See if we can break back above the Q. I think I've got auto trade. So we're below the 50. Right, trend wave's bearish. We're below the hour. Big money traffic lights are red, but we're bouncing off the 4. So definite bearish outlook at the moment. Wonder if we'll get another Trump candle. It'll go crazy today. Oh my god. Has anyone fuck's sake, pickle. No. This has been my hovel for the last 2 weeks. It has been one mammoth session. Do you know what most of the problem is, right? Most of the problem is nothing thinks like a trader or real trade environment. Scenarios that happen when you're trading, like it's all these tiny little details, not the actual getting things to do with it, you know, like to look like they should look. It's the finicky information, especially when it comes to the auto trade that you take for granted. So yeah, it's been a mammoth. Yo. So issues with alpha zones and the Qs fixed. So I had the alpha zones. Basically, TradingView uses the 0 candle. NinjaTrader uses the 1 candle. That's why they weren't aligned. I've now fixed that. So correct levels, and on wrong property. And on the indicator, for Alpha Zones Pro, you can see that we've now got extend the boxes, right? So it will put on the Qs for us and extend them. Yep, there's the other two. So back into the hour, back into the Q. We're stuck between the hourly and the 4 at the moment, so a little bit of ping pong possibly. So let's try and take, again guys, I'm just doing testing. I want to make sure everything plays out as it should. So let's do a half risk alpha zones manual sell, right? Let's see whether it, there we go. So it's triggered below the candle at the bottom of the alpha zone. Should be looking for 1R. The risk should be about 250 if it's half. And if we take the candle high, then it'll invalidate the signal and disappear. No, actually, it'll be if we invalidate the alpha zone, because it's where the stop is. So if we we invalidate the alpha zone, I think that'll be the invalidation point. What have I got it set to? Yeah, alpha zone. Let's see. Well, we're tagged in. So you can see our stops at the top of the alpha zone. Our risk to reward is 1. It's set the risk correctly. You can see on here, right? You might not be able to see it because of the size, but it says 225. So it's half the risk just by selecting the half risk, no problem. My stop's in the right place, and it's trailing at the moment with the 50, as I have a 50 trail, so it's trailing the 50 at the moment. I'm just testing trailing as well. So that little move with the 50 has dropped our risk to 204, which is coming down nicely. Our TP is 198, that's all working fine. And then once your first trade has been done, so once we see that first trade complete, whether a win or loss, then your P&L table will populate. Let's see. Everything being all right, we should publish this update today or tomorrow. So there we go. Okay, so we've gone through, right? You can see the trade switched off, the auto trades come off, and our P&L is now loaded. So we can do the same thing again the other way, right? So if we do a manual buy, or what have I got going? We'll do a manual buy. We'll do the same thing, right? Stop will come above the high. Sorry, entry will go above the high. Stop will go below the alpha zone. Targeting 1R. Let's just see. We're on half risk. Let's do, oh, it's already done it. So we got a signal on that one as well. So what it'll do is it'll prioritize the signal over the manual entry, so it won't double the entry, right? So you could see on there I'd selected manual, but it also gave a signal. So it won't double your risk, it'll just use one of the entries and it'll prioritize the signal as well. So everything aligned. Now obviously if I had big money traffic lights on, then that would filter out this signal and you wouldn't see it because we are bearish on the big money. Now the Q has just come and filled the gap, so we could come out of it and go bullish, even return back to this hourly, so that's all good. Now my trailing will be interesting because I've got the 50, so it should bring me all the way up here, I reckon. Let's see. Oh, that's good. It's keeping it where it is. So risk on this trade is 201. Half trade is on. 500 to trade. So the closest it could do was 200. Which is good. TP is 182. Everything's working as it should. So nice little update. Being able to use the alpha zone as your stop loss. And the manual triggers are working. I wanted to see whether it worked with it off actually. I need to turn Auto Trader off. I've got one more test to do. So are there any features you think you'd like that are missing? I would have gone live in the Discord, but it's just a pain with the... Can you add to a position? Good question. You would need to do it manually with your chart trading. I'm trying to think of how you would add to a position. With regards to like your target, would you push your target? Would you have an additional target? Treat it as like an individual trade. It's quite a unique. There's not a lot of rules that we've got to adding to a trade. I mean, I can try to think of. I'll have a think about that, Pickles. I can't think of a clean way to do it at the moment. Could just duplicate the entry system. Hello, right, Flay. Just doing some live testing on the new update that's coming out. So fixed a couple of issues, picked up, added in the manual trade option, which basically just does everything for you. You're just saying, I want to take the trade on the next candle, and then it will use the positioning. So you select where you want your stop. So for signals, AZ is alpha zone, so bound the hourly, the swing or the candle, right? And then you've got your risk multiplier. So you have your default risk in the risk calculator, right? So in Pro, if you go down to your risk calculator, no, wrong one. If you go down to your risk calculator, which is here, you can see I'm set to 1% of 50,000, so I'm risking 500. I could lower that to 0.5, right? And then that's my base figure. So that's 250 a trade. You shouldn't hit apply when you're in a trade either. That's not a good thing. It will still pick the trade up and try and manage it, but it can mess things up. But I have tested a lot around that. Opening a new chart, closing, refreshing. So it still should pick up the trade, but let's see now I've just messed with it. I'm just going to change this to P&L. So 201 is the current risk. So our second chart needs 2 trades in here. So we need 2 trades to show our trade journey today. our P&L path. Do you know what, Pickles? You made me question there now. Let's see whether it... Yeah, I can't select manual buy. Oh, clicked it too many times. So I can't make it take another entry. So you definitely can't add to it using the system. Yeah. Holy moly. So if you want to schedule a trade, so New York Open, right? So say it's, you go on 15 minutes before New York Open. And I know New York Open obviously can be quite fast. So we can do this. So we can go into the settings, right? We can go down to our trade schedule here, right? So at the moment you can see trade window present New York, right? So you select whether you want custom, full session, New York morning, which is the 9:30, right? So you can just select New York morning, tick on your trade window. So I'll just do a full session so you can see where it shows you, right? That's an automatically just going to do all day. Just going to tick off trailing. Oh yeah, look back. So I'm using look back, sorry. So it's going to take the last 10 candles and trail the high or the low. Okay, and then right, hit apply. Again, I'm making changes during the trade. It's not a good idea. So you can see now it says window here. And that's showing that I've got a window now activated. Now the window's all day. Then all you do is tick on your auto trade. And once the window's active and it gets a signal, it'll take the trade. Once the trade's finished, it'll switch off and it won't take any more trades. So you can do your one and done without you even having to think about it. Hey. So the trailing I've built in, you can set how many candles back you want it to look and it'll take the highest or lowest. I'm using a 10 bar look back for the trail. So it's counting back 10 bars, finding the lowest point, which is still our alpha zone. Right, I think it's actually just moved up slightly behind that candle. Right, it was on the alpha zone. And it will trail following the last low in the last X number of candles. So you have an auto trail function on that as well. All right, guy. So you can see our trade window is now out. You can see it's come up. It closes in 12 hours and 24 minutes. Which shows you the trade window you're in. And once that trade window, once you're not in it, it won't execute, won't let you execute any trades if you're outside your trade window. I'd recommend you go in and build out your settings and then you save it as a template. So saving as a template is nice and easy. You just go into the settings. And then in this bottom corner here, there's a template button. Once you've ticked everything the way that you want it, just hit template and hit save. I have added in a new setting as well under auto trade. So limit entry retry here. So say for example the candle is too fast and goes through the entry candle and you don't get tagged in because the stop order wasn't quick enough. It'll set a limit order at that entry point. So if price comes back, it'll tag you in. If price goes to TP1, it'll remove the order. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Likely get stopped out here as we're very bearish. You can see the higher time frame's bearish anyway. We're just testing to make sure all the risk options are working before I publish this new update. We can see our hourly's putting up a fight. So we have come down and taken the current hourly high. Which does give us good probability for carrying on through this high at some point this hour. We are 39 minutes in, so we're going into the last 2 quarters, and this is where most of the distribution happens. So possibly, if we're going to go bearish, we can expect that push through and potentially back onto this 4. We just got mixed signals. Obviously, the hourly stats would put us in direction for coming for this high, right? While at the moment, obviously, our big money is bearish and we're just hanging around the 50. Yes, but you need to have different... yes, you can. But if you have a trade open on one pair, it won't open it on a second pair, I think. I need to double check that. You can have different accounts using it. So I could have multiple charts, different accounts. But I think if you've got a trade open, it won't let you trade on another pair. So the trailings, you can see, is now come behind this low on here. The bot I'd probably say the bot will be easier to make it run on the same account on multiple pairs. So this is an indicator. It's not ideal to use it as a... The reason why it's not auto trading just sat on is because you're using up loads of memory on your computer, having all of the visual side, like the tables use a lot and all that type of thing. So it's definitely more of... I designed it to be more of a manual trading. So it's that balance between bot and manual trading, getting it as close to as automatic, as closer to hands-off as possible, without it being a bot, just to make life easier for you. So like all the trade management, trade entry, all automated so that you can make that easy. It's just not a full bot. It's just not a bot. The bot will be a strategy. We will have different features to act like a bot. So that will be a kind of a different focus, if you like. So there are people who still want to push manual trading, focusing on their own skill, right? This takes a lot of pressure off on some of the stress of missing a setup accidentally, not getting tagged in at the right time, not being quick enough, getting the wrong risk, ending up over risking because you're rushing. Like, it'll fix all of that for you. you can move the stop anyway, do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to slightly adjust it, you can move it as long as you don't have the trailing on. So it just makes your entry a lot smoother from a manual point of view. The bot is a different type of person. So for example, I've built the simulator to go with the bot so that you can run the bot, collect your data, and then put it through the prop firms to see your performance, how many payouts, which prop firm would have given you the best payout, so where's best to place your money before going with the bot. Testing different setups. There'll be different elements to it. Copy trading across multiple accounts in terms of take a trade, win, lock that account, move to the next account, so that you can cycle accounts to increase payout frequency. All this sort of thing will be included in the bot. Doubling trades if you take a loss, increasing the next trade, all that type of thing. So it'll be very, very different to the indicator. And again, is all designed about prop firm payouts. So it's focused on maximizing getting your payouts for the firms. That's the goal. And obviously, like having 5 accounts running where it's got a max profit for the day, a max loss for the day. It'll run that account. As soon as it hits profit, it'll move to the next account, do the same thing, do the same thing, do the same thing. So you're just moving on, or it'll keep going until it takes a loss, and then it'll move to the next account. Same thing. We're going to have different scenarios that you can run with the bot. So as the trailing stop moves, the risk updates in the table. So right now this trade is costing me 170 if it loses, right? If it goes on to win, I get 182. So my risk to reward is slowly increasing as the trailing stop goes up. I haven't got too many more features. We'll focus on things that, like this is quick changes. So down this section here is all about, like, if I need to make a quick change, I need it in here. Your risk is in there, your stop's in there. Targeting could add, but to be fair, targeting's the easiest thing. Like, I can just move my target, right? It's the easiest thing to adjust, because it's the last thing generally that happens, right? Yes, so what I've built is, which also has taken a huge amount of time, is I've built a prop firm simulator. I'll see if I can bring it into view. So you'll be able to take your data, right, that's produced from the bot. Let me bring it into here. You should be able to see this. Okay. So you drop your file in from NinjaTrader, and to be fair, from other places. Here's just a sample bit of data, right? I select my prop firm. So let's select Apex 50K end of day. If I want to add commissions on, I can turn my commissions on. I've already gone and collected the data for the commissions, right? So progressive consistency is built in, 25, 25, 30%. No single day can exceed 50% of total funded. Turn it on. Enable commissions, so I can use the commissions that are in the spreadsheet if you wanted to use that, or it'll compare to the other ones, right? Max payout as a percentage. Your profit split's already built in. So these are kind of defaulted to Apex, but if you wanted to customize it, payout threshold, you can see here, right? It's all built in. Now I can run this to have a look at what it looks like for Apex, or I can do compare all plans, right? So I can click this, it'll take that data and it will compare it against all firms and tell me which firm would have given me the highest payout, or I can focus on total cost, which is down here, right? So top step 50k actually only cost me $396. We can see in here, and then we can click on view full results and it plots how the journey went for you. Yeah, so we can see we passed our challenge here. So then we start again on a new account. We went straight to a payout, second payout, third payout. We had a massive rundown, almost tagged the floor, came back and hit profit, hit payout, and so on. So it automatically lays out the journey for you. And then obviously you've also compared it to say which plans you'd have lost on. So actually if I'd have taken this one, that strategy wouldn't have been profitable for me, right? However, on these plans, I'd have had an amazing time, right? So 1,794% return on the 50k. So that is your, basically like your combined strategy builder, right? Because it's not like a cash account. Yes, correct. Okay, so we hit our stop, literally just tagged that following. So we're going to leave on, I'm going to test 1.5 risk now. So let's wait for it to give a signal and make sure the signal ones run as well. So the manual, this indicator will get past the prop firm rules, yes, because it's not a bot. It is a manual trade, right? It cannot automatically keep taking a trade every single day. It doesn't automatically take the same trade every day. You have to manually set it. You have to manually use it. So you can't, like it's not a bot. It's that balance, it's that gray area, right, between the two. It's as close as you can get without it being exactly the same. And then obviously the bot, some prop firms allow bots, some are more lenient on them. It's one of them. Yes, correct, Alan. So the bot isn't up and running yet. We are still in development of that. That is still coming. Obviously, what we've done is we've ported the TradingView version of the strategy in the indicator. So important levels, big money traffic light, alpha zones, and then the golden candle. We've imported that into NinjaTrader and then created your dashboard and your trade management, right? So because executing on NinjaTrader compared to TradingView, we can customize that for you. We've just added those elements in. Now, if you're in the Discord at the moment, I think today is the last day of the lifetime discount. So it's $97 and that's lifetime for you to get the full NinjaTrader version. The public version will come out after that, and it is going to be we'll do an offer initially. I think it's going to be $147, but if you're in the Discord, you're getting the lowest price. Also, all updates. Anyone outside the Discord, it's going to be a annual license, because with NinjaTrader, there's going to be a lot more hands-on, making sure everything's working, especially with the auto trading. Unlike the indicator on TradingView, a bit more, build and forget. So just making sure, obviously, the upkeep of the service is still included. So if I wanted to change pairs, for example, and trade a different pair, you need to make sure it's a new chart. Load up the pair first, or remove the indicator and then load the pair, right? So nice push up. We've got a bit flat with... so obviously if we hadn't have used our trail, we'd still be behind the alpha zone. Just making sure that was working. So we'd still be in this trade. We've got 7 minutes yet. So obviously statistically of the hour, like I said, we expected that to go. Auto trade is now off for this test. So we've got everything aligned for a signal other than volume. So if volume comes on this next candle, we should get an automatic entry, because I have chose to take... Okay. We also get a big... Is it Trump? He's not helping with my testing. Not sure if you tech background, will you? But would you have some knowledge around producing a script to spawn multiple instances of MT5? No, mate. Fucking hell. I started on MT5 maybe 3 years ago. I haven't touched it since, but I will be doing... I think I'm going to do an MT5 version of this for Forex. So I will note your question and have a little look. But I can't say off my head now. Be-do. We'll see what's aligned. We might end up with an alignment for a sell. We're below the hour, below the 50, below the trend wave. Not enough bearish volume on that candle though, interestingly. Oh, nice. Well, I'll give you a heads up when I'm getting my head into it. Right now, I need a bit of a break. I think I've been going at it for solid 2 weeks. I haven't even had kids, and then working over the weekends and nights. It's catches up with everybody. Doesn't matter how many coffees or monsters I drink. I'm still knackered. Also, like, I love doing this sort of stuff, but it's like trading at the same time is an impossible. I can't do two at the same time because I'm so busy testing all the different elements. When am I going to put up curtains? I haven't even... Do you know what? We've moved into the house. I haven't done... Since then, I've not done a single thing in this room. I've still got boxes. I've done some other stuff in the house, but I've just been working. Since the computer got up, I've just been working, and I should be doing more in the house, but I haven't yet. Spend all my time low in the bloody garden. It's huge. I need to get a sit-on mower. I hate those curtain poles as well. Look at horrible. I know, right? I was looking at goats. A robot mower sounds more fun than a goat. I'm a little bit scared of goats. I'm not ashamed to admit it in front of you guys. They freak me out a bit. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Boo doo doo. Doo doo doo. So I've got multiple different setups, right? Definitely have too many goats. My wife wants goats. Goats and chickens. I don't mind the chicken idea. Because I like eggs. Fresh egg sounds nice. I've got like half the garden is a little bit wooded, if you like. Needs clearing. It's probably about just under half an acre's wooded, sort of like this wooded land that needs clearing. So I was thinking about getting goats to eat their way through that, but some of it's too much trees, so it needs properly cutting down. That's fucking hilarious. So Gummy's just said that he's not watching. He's watching Keir Starmer. Never thought I'd be stunned for the Prime Minister. Oh, it's crazy. Right, we've got a new hour. Opens below. Still in this 4 hour though, and this 4 hour's still bullish. Right. We've got our London low, Asia low. So looking like London's picking. It didn't quite get it, did it? Oh no, yeah, they just wick through. That's the wick. So I don't like it as much now, but our daily, we've taken previous day high. I think, let me just check. Yeah, we've taken previous day high. So pretty bullish. We've not retested the daily. So possible return to the daily. If NQ opens bearish, could have this big push down to the daily. Big money traffic lights align in. Definite possibility. So say, for example, I only fancied longs today. Well, I can just turn off sells. So it'll ignore any sell signals and just take buy signals. So like if we're above the daily, above the Q, I can just go, no, forget any sells you get, just focus on buys. This is like my go-to. I think this is the go-to option, right? I think the bot will be wicked, and I think it's going to open up huge opportunity to smash payouts. But I like the manual side. So I think there's kind of two different sides, really, isn't there? There's like side hustle, make some extra cash. Bot is perfect. And then there's manual trading, you know, looking to improve your own skill as a trader and take that journey. And I think this is where the indicator version comes to its own. And let's be honest, it's fucking cheap. Like, go and spend how many prop firm challenges, and you can happily do 5 of them in a week, and then you're spending a fortune. You never get that back. Need to adjust that some more. Did I load my template again? Okay, that's better. Yeah, there we go. Just made the labels a little closer. Oh, no. So I like that spot where it came down to. I also like 2400. So just through London low. Unless this bullish trend is going to end. Then I don't think we're going to get back to the daily. Not yet seeing it completely end. Let's just check the higher time frames. 4 hour. Printing a doji, not doji, a tail bar. Or what's it called? What's it called? Help me out. A star something? Oh my god. I can't believe it's been so many years. What is it? A morning star. Right? Is that right? Why is it morning? Why can't it be nighttime? So yeah, 4 hour big candle up, closing. Obviously, we're very close to the 4 hour, right? So you can imagine this is the wick, and we're all the way down here. So if we close below, then we've got quite a large wick, and obviously the 4 hour. This is still this up here. Sorry. So this is the 4 hour wick. This is the 4 hour close. So huge wick. So could see price retrade back up this first when the new 4 hour opens. We've still got another 50 minutes of this 4 hour. Everything's aligning for a sell signal other than we haven't got volume. So if volume kicks in on this one, then we'll get a sell signal. Stop is below the above the alpha zone. We're using normal risk. I just increase that. See, I want to see 1.5 work. Let's see whether we get volume. There's a big candle. There's a signal. There's the entry. Totally hands off. Invalidation point is above the alpha zone. So if price goes back now and goes above the alpha zone, it will invalidate. So we should, I lowered my risk to 250 and then did 1.5 risk. So I'd imagine it's going to be about 350, 300 for the trade. Make sure it works. See if we get tagged in. All right, we got tagged in, our stop set, our TP set. It's not different logic, it's different data. So what you find is the data and the volume that's coming in on TradingView is different to the data and the volume that's coming in from whoever you're using for your data feed, right? So whoever you connect to NinjaTrader, that's the data feed that you're using. So the indicator in the system can only use the data that's fed. That is the biggest difference. So for example, if you go on, I'll just say like EURUSD. If you go on EURUSD, so there's the signal on TradingView. So if you had EURUSD on, man, my brain's not in gear today. A firm like Awanda, right? Your feed would be completely different to Forex. What's the Forex one? The other Forex one. So you, even though they're the same pair and they're charting the same thing, the data feed's different, and therefore you will get slight differences, especially when it comes to candle high and low and volume. So that is just something that is uncontrollable. Nothing we can do about it, right? But it's not just CME data. you can see it in the candles. Some of the candles have wicks where other candles don't have wicks. The data is different from TradingView. You will never get two platforms using this many different elements to 100% align. The way that they treat, the way that, I mean, it's even stuff like moving averages. TradingView treats totally different to the way that NinjaTrader does, even though I've obviously created my own versions to make sure it does. Even stuff like the candle. So right now on TradingView, this is the 13 candle, right? Whereas where on NinjaTrader, it's the 14 candle. They are just, the way they handle data are different. By all means, you don't have to use the NinjaTrader signals. You can have TradingView and just use the manual entry to enter the trade and have your stop exactly the same as TradingView. So you don't have to use the auto function if you like, you know, obviously if you're comfortable with what you've got and the signals on TradingView, absolutely great. Just have your TradingView chart up like I have, right? And just use the manual function so that you're executing on NinjaTrader using the manual function. Just let it do its job. So our risk was 288 on that trade. So we're risking 250. We had 1.5 risk, so it did increase risk. Obviously, the additional contract would have taken it over the 350, and therefore it sized down. Oh, no, sorry, it would have been up at 300. The stops moved with the trailing. So everything working as it should. Stop placements in the right way. Entries working in the right way. All good. Everything is fine, right? I don't have to be here for this trade. I can walk away. I can let it do its own thing. It'll keep trailing. Like if I wanted to set BE at different TP points, I could do that. Not a problem. So we got London low below. Right, okay. That's interesting. Spare me a second. Have you tried going onto? Are you physically on Trader or NinjaTrader, Mark? Yeah. So this is where really I'd have liked TP to be at this low. Obviously 1 hour's further down. We'll let the trailing carry on rather than manage it ourselves. And there's London low taken. So next candle will put us above the 4 hour. Risk has currently dropped to 110. So right now, if we hit TP, we're at 1 to 2.7. We've hit our golden zone. So ideally, really, we should be taking profit around here. However, we're letting the trade play out. Risk is now at $78 for a return of 298. Yeah, it is annoying when it's always the way, right? You can't take a trade when things are going well, and you can always take that trade when it's the one that cost you. So we're almost at TP. And whoa, we just wicked it. Look at that. Tick away. I am going to be a dick for a tick because I need to let this play out. I've got to watch what it does. All right, we've trailed again. See how we've just moved above this high? So now we're risking $40. That was pretty damn, literally a tick away from hitting target. Look at that. I can't zoom in anymore. Go on. Get it. Yeah. Right. Position closed. Auto trade off. P&L now drops. Showing the trades. Everything's all set. Thank you very much. So my next trade, we're going to say, really, if we get another trade, we need to be like our swings all the way up here. So we can't really use swing. So let's use candle. But I only want to use 0.5 risk. Unless we get a swing, and then I'll use swing. Trades on. It's pretty good. We're going to need to get a break candle anyway before we get a trade. So let's have a look at that. Right. So I want my break candle using the 50 price action, and I'm going to use risk to reward from a break candle, apply. Okay, and then I'm going to use swing, 0.5 risk, and I only want to take a sell. So we've come down to really got a little bit further. I'd expect us to come down. Let's see if we can get a break candle or a retracement back up before a continuation. All right, we've had our break candle to the upside. So remember, right now, break candles will be white if they don't match our filter. So our filter is saying as long as it's below the 50 and price action is bearish, then we can take a trade, right? So any break candle that matches that criteria will give us the opposing, and we've told it that we only want to take sells. So right now, no buys will kick in, even though it could be a good opportunity for a buy. But we've got 25, only 25 minutes into the new hour. We've taken previous hourly low, we've taken London low, possibly to get a bit of a retracement. We've still got Asia further down as well, so could easily still come down for that. This will be previous 4-hour low. We're using swing point for our golden candle, and we can use swing point now for a signal as well, since we've got a break, as that was just too far. Obviously alpha zones is too far now as well, in my opinion. Could add on the 4, so there's another level, auto 1. Could add on. Just becomes too much though. Right, Gummy. Good to see you. Glad that you've left the PM for me. And he cheered you up. What do you reckon, guys? Think we're going to get a break candle? Or are we going to come flying back? Who uses market executions? Rather than stop orders? I'd be interested to know. Or even limit orders. How do you set your limit order if you use a limit order? Is it a percentage of the range? How do you take your trade? So this is still our candle high. Right, okay, guy. So possibly that limit order option would help. If you miss the stop, it'll set a limit order for you. I don't know if you saw, were you here for that when I went through it? Did you manage to catch that part of the video where I went through the limit order entry? No? Okay. So if price is too quick and goes immediately through your entry, as soon as it goes to take it, you'll get a rejection saying that you can't place a stop order because price is already through where you'd want to place your stop, right? Which happens to us, especially during New York, can be really fast. So what the indicator will do automatically is place a limit order. So it will see rejection, place limit order, and then so if price comes through and then back again very quickly, you'll get tagged in with your limit order. If price goes to the take profit 1 before hitting the limit order will be cancelled and invalidated. So that option is in the settings. So if you go to auto trade, you can see limit entry, retry. There, you can tick it on, tick it off. So help you snipe those entries if you do miss them. Just a little, little things like that that have been added in, really focused around our entries or challenges that we have with our entries. But yeah. Okay, back to the 4 hour. Nice rejection from the 4 hour. Still everything aligning for a break entry. However, very soon, I think we'll see that stop. This price has gone very bullish after coming through London. Had a nice big pullback. We are still not at the 50 though, so the 50 is just coming down into our 4 hour. So quite an expansion. It's a fairly normal retracement. Some structure has been taken, but we're more major structure here. hasn't yet been traded through. In the 4 hour, you can see the rejections here. You can see that the 4 hour is still holding and pushing price back down. So let's see what happens here. Possible break candle if it closes below 432. See if it flips bearish. I think we're going to trade through, but we'll see. What do I mean by trade through? More like up here. But our big money traffic lights are red. We're below the 50, below the hourly, below the Q, below the 4 hour. The daily will be an attractive target potentially if it is going to go bearish, retrace to the daily. Even Asia, low below as well. It's putting up a fight. We're not seeing particularly big bullish volume though. We'll see whether it kicks in on this candle. Sellers still pushing it back. But we have managed to go through the candle high. What do you think, guys? Is the 4 hour going to win? Or are bulls going to push it through? There we go. So we can see big push through, big break. Expect a little bit of a retest. So right now, the hourly candle is still bearish, so you're not going to get a long signal while we are below the hour. Right? Where was the previous 4-hour low? Miles away. That is one up and down. So probably looking like a decent retracement for a continuation if it's going to carry on. Structure is still bullish on the higher time frame. It's just a bit of this is more of a pullback. We need to be coming below 955 to look more like a change in price. So we'd have to come down through these lows back to the daily to see it looking more like a bearish structure change. So a bit more of a higher time frame correction, looks like. The new 4-hour will be really interesting because if we fail to take this 4-hour low, that could be a good indication of longs. So although we are close to getting a break candle, our break candle isn't aligning with the filters that we chose, so probably still just be a white one rather than a gold one, so be no trade on it. Just going to, won't be a second, just going to grab a drink. I've already been and got me baguette this morning. I can't believe how cheap the boulangeries are in France. It's insane. Alright, you go and pick up a baguette from the co-op in the UK, it's like what, £1.50? Need the weather to be better. I came here for some heat as well. What's the weather? Oh, it's going to rain. Lovely. And then Saturday. So the weekend's 20 degrees. Sunday's 23. Monday's 26. And then next week's rain. Oh no. Fuck's sake. Still better than the northwest. Rain, 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 rainy, rainy, rain. We need this new 4-hour. That's interesting. That is interesting. I need to start getting head back into trading. That was a nice trade. Yeah. Okay. Want to see if the 4-hour closes below sort of the mid-hourly alpha zone. We haven't yet taken a 4-hour low. So, for example, it's been one... My God, longer than that. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 4-hour candles haven't taken. 9 4-hour candles haven't taken a 4-hour low. Right? This is the first one. Flips, takes the previous 4-hour high, takes the previous 4-hour high. Look at that, failing to take the 4-hour low. Failing to take the 4-hour low. Bang, 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 bang. That is a huge chunk of 4-hour candles on a nice trend. So, the 4-hour low, the current 4-hour low here, right, is a really, really, really important level to see what we do with it. Since we haven't taken a 4-hour low in so many candles, is it going to be today? So back to the queue. 12 minutes left of this 4-hour. An hour. take my vitamin. Boom, 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 boom. Ten minutes left. So right now, we can get a signal, right? We're above the hour. We're just looking for volume. Now I've got buys set off, right? I'm not saying that's a good thing, just showing. Well, obviously we're into the queue, so I wouldn't want to take that anyway, really. Previous hour high. This is our current hour high. So we've taken the current hour high. That's a good sign. That's a good sign of an hourly reversal. Nice strong close. So buy signal. Hasn't triggered an entry because buys are off. Ideal entry point for this would be our alpha zones, right? Swing is already down here. Candle low, it's a bit close after a move. So really, here's our ideal sort of stop loss placement. If I wanted to take the entry, I could turn buys back on and do a manual buy. And it would set my stop order. Let's leave it though. So without having to change my settings for my signals, if I prefer a particular direction, I can just make sure I'm only looking for trades in that direction. Six minutes. New 4-hour candle. New daily. New hour as well, right? So what's Trump said? Trump says he is strongly considering pulling US out of NATO. Okay. Anything else? Ryanair, jet fuel supply issues. Ooh. NASA's still got enough fuel though to send a rocket. He is very, very angry at the UK. He is not happy at all. Okay, remember, I wanted this hour to close, this 4 hour to close below the midpoint of the hourly to be interesting for the shorts. Come on, baby. So you can see we've got a break candle. It's not gold, doesn't align with our rules that we're looking for a short. Come on. Big push up. If we get a signal now, let's take it. All right. So we got a golden candle because we were above the hour. Everything aligned. Stop loss is behind the swing. If it goes through that, it'll invalidate the trade, and yeah, we won't get tagged in. Got 2 minutes until we get a new hour. Current hour is bordering bullish and bearish. One more minute. My entry is on the current previous hour high. I don't mind that. There's our new 4 hour. Opens just above the previous 4 hour. If we fail to take this high, when we're so close to it, could be a really good indication for shorts. Remember, this is our previous 4 hour low. Remember, we don't need to worry or stress about the situation of the trade. We've got our invalidation point. We've got our entry point. Just let it do its thing. Have a drink. Drop me some screenshots in the Discord of you successfully using the system. Obviously it'd be easier, there'll be more of that once I push out this update. We've done quite some good tests this morning. No issues, everything's working as intended. I'm happy with the current setup. Oh, that's what I haven't had. Been sitting here in silence. boom, 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 boom. That's better. Alright, we hit our invalidation point. Trade off. Now, because we didn't take a trade, we're still active on looking for a trade. Let me just check this works. If I turn this off, set a manual sell. Where is it using the stop? Swing point will be at the top, that's fine. Let's see. Will it work? Will it stop it from trading, or will it let it trade? Yeah, so it's still now. So that update's worked. Let me get rid of it. So now you don't have to have auto trade on to take trades, which is good. Could be another doji hour. Could be another doji hour. We've got still quite a few things that we need for a sell signal. We need our price action to align. And we need bearish volume. I think the biggest thing is the volume at the moment. That's not looking like that's coming any time. We'll see, but we're right up against the queue. This area has been a strong area of rejection for price. Breaking above that now, coming above the queue, holding it would be interesting. This is our previous 4-hour low, previous hourly low. This is definitely, again, another interesting level right now. These two levels are really interesting to see where price is going to go. We did push up first minute of the hour, you can see, and the second minute we pushed up, attempting for that high. Came within very close, failed to take it, and came back down. So interesting to see where price is going to go. We are sandwiched a bit between the 4-hour, previous 4-hour, you know, like we've had a 4-hour doji, we've had 2-hourly dojis, so I think we've got this sort of breakout potential above the queue, or a deeper retracement, but we will see. We're holding the 50 at the moment, some rejections from the 50, but we are sandwiched between a level of resistance. So we'll just have to see. just have to see. Remember the 4-hour candle? I'll show you the 4-hour candle. Right? Bullish all the way up. Big wick. Bit of a retracement. Is this going to be the first 4-hour to come and clean it? Now, what's interesting is look how clean price has been, right? In retracing back down, making sure it's all traded cleanly. So it's been really efficient in the way that it's moved up, other than obviously this initial break. Everything's been really clean. Even that one retraced down, you can see, to the previous wick. It was super clean. Previous wicks of just about, you know, we've just gone through on this one. This is the previous previous wick up here, so we're in a different situation now. And then on the hourly, you can see where we had this, we held up, came through, and we're just holding this area for a bit of price action. For us, you know, in different ways, we've got our 4-hour here, and our Q's above at the moment, so we'll see. Oh, nice one, guy. I look forward to your feedback, mate. I can't wait to see you using it, what you like about it, anything that you would, you know, would help, or you think we could add to it. Feedback always welcome. Okay, so retest of the current hour. We just didn't close enough to get a break candle, but this will give us a break candle to the upside. So back below the 50. Strong push back up into the hour. Let's see if we can get above. So there's our break candle to the upside. Our big money traffic lights have gone green and orange, so close to going bullish. We're really pushing back for that high. What do we need for a signal? We've got quite a few more things to go before we'll get a buy signal. Right now we've only got 3 ticked. They're at the top, you can't see them at the moment, but if you have the indicator on, you can see all the filters giving you your green light. We did take out this previous pullback here, so potential for a bit of structural change. Could class this as a change character. did come through this high from this low. Not really. Remember, the beauty of this is we don't need to be too stressed about missing an entry. If we really want the trade, we really like where it is, then we can set our system. Tell me what you think about this idea. I've been thinking about a price range where, so you've got your time filter, when we could have a area filter, right? So say for example, I only wanted to take a trade if we came into this sort of area, so between 24,087 and 113, right? So it'll only trigger a trade if we are inside that price area, so that you can take trades close to the queue if you wanted, or close to an hour. You know, you could pinpoint an area if we came back to the daily. I'd only take a buy when we come back into that area. So I was thinking about zonal areas to be able to filter as well. Too much discretion. Yeah. There's a real balance in the Discord between the discretion and the automated side. We are very much, I think that, you know, the rest of this year will be very much focused on automation. I know that I've already got 2 or 3 setups that I'm going to automate. So they won't be this bot, but they'll just be a bot for taking the same setup every day, that you can set and forget. So there's various different things. We're gonna be building multiple automation setups. Obviously, all of these things, especially when it comes down to the bot, are all data backed, right? And prop firm backed. So we will be smashing out more and more setups and more bots, to help you get through challenges. You know, even if you're just using it for the challenge phase and just saying, you know what, I really can't be bothered doing the challenge phase, I just want to trade the funded phase. Great, you know, you'll get a pass rate with the setup or the bot, and like, you know, it's got a 60% pass rate with your challenge. Right, there you go. Set it up, let it run, passes your challenges, and then trade the funded. I know that's definitely, for me, what I'll be doing. I'll do some manual passes on the challenges, but I am not trading anything this week other than I've just been... yeah, they're good. The prop firm, all the straight to funded are all there. So for example, if we take that example that we just did, where is it? Might be a second. Oh, I put it up on a separate window, didn't I? Right, we take that example that I just did, yeah? You can see that let's do Traderify. Right, there's the Lightning, 150k. Lightning 50k, 5 payouts, right? So you can see how they do with the Lightning. Now, what's really interesting is this. I'll show you. So as you know, I'm a stickler for detail, but every time you get a payout on the Lightning, payout 1 is different to payout 2 buffer, payout 3 is different to payout 2 buffer. So they're all built in, right? They are all built in to adjust the buffer so that you can see it working towards that point, right? Let's zoom in. There we go. So you can see the buffer changing, although your drawdown doesn't change, right? Because you've funded. That profit target is slightly changing every time until here when you bust the account, and then obviously you restart again and you end up with that same level. So with straight to funded, your so here we go. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's do a comparison on a straight to funded. So really important with straight to funded is, let's do Lightning 50k. So we've got a daily loss limit, right? And we've also got first payout needs 3,000. We've also got passive consistency, 20, 25%, 30%. So we need that on as well, right? So we've got a consistency rule. So we run the simulation and you can see it's giving us, there were 363 times the consistency rule blocked us from a payout in terms of days every time we traded. So the consistency rule is built in as well, right? It's not very neat because I've thinned it out so you can see it, but that's built in there, right? So that you can see. So here is the great example of that consistency rule. If you look at this example, here we got the account, right? Probably a little bit further. So here we got the account. Look how many trades we went past the buffer level until we were able to take a payout, and that is because of the consistency rule. So we had to get to that level of profit to be able to take a payout. So all this is already built in and predetermined for you. So it is highly, highly accurate simulation of the prop firm rules instead of some bullshit. You just need to make 2 grand. You just, like, it's bullshit basically. They don't really simulate the true process. So I have really heavily gone in to make sure that when we simulate it, we are simulating the prop firm rules and as close as possible to reality, right? So they're all in there, and obviously I'll continue to add more prop firms, and we'll update it to make sure that we're following everything that's in. Okay, so we just had a golden candle to the upside while we were talking. Now I probably wouldn't have, well, I definitely wouldn't have taken this trade from a if I was trading it point of view, because I want to see this high go. So I'm more bearish than I am bullish on this trade. Just with that break and then the fail to take this high. But anyway, we can just see that the auto trader for the golden candle working fine. My filters aligned, gave me a golden candle, and it took the entry. We're at normal risk, so we risked 250 on that trade, so you can see it flip back to the original amount. I've tested it across a few prop firms, all executions fine. We really want the sells, we don't want buys. Another failure to take the high. So we really want to come down, take this low, see if we get a sell signal. Oh God. Let's try a manual sell. So our stop should go up here. Our entry should go below the candle low, looking for 1R. Let's see whether we trigger. Now we're looking at risk of 1.5. So this should then increase the risk as well. I mean, everything's, all morning has been absolutely perfect. This release is, as soon as I'm off here, I'm going to send this release out. It's worked like an absolute dream. There you go, there's the stop order. So our invalidation point is this high. So if price comes through this high, it should invalidate this. Now I've used 1.5 risk, so I would expect this trade to risk about 350. Everything being good. Remember, you set your base level, so your 1x, in the trade calculator in the settings. So that is your mid ground, right? You set it on. Zoo does it have a filter for news? No, it doesn't actually. I could have a look at that. It's just how it would read what news is coming. It'd have to have a live feed in, which I don't think. I'll have a look at that. It's a good idea. Red folder news. I will have a look at that. let's have a look whether we can do the red folder news. I like that idea, guy. It's a good idea. I like it. That is a good idea. Protect your accounts. And protect you. I need a Trump alert. Let's close that trade off. I need to turn that filter off. It's too aggressive, this filter, for the golden candles. It was only really for the other way that I was using it, but anyway. We can do this really simply. We can just turn off breaks, so I haven't got to go back in the settings. So you can see our stop placement and TP is already sort of set up. It's a shitty hour. Don't really want to be trading anything this hour, by the way. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Let me just turn off this break candles. It's just too chop for that. While I research the API for the news. So we might be able to do it. It's going to take some testing though. It's definitely not going to be something that I can release straight away. Okay. I'm going to shift this update. It needs to go out. Just a reminder, this hour, we're just waiting for this hour to be over. It's going to be pretty shitty. I'm down. Be another doji. Let me send this to T. Right, I'm going to jump off and carry on working on this update and get it out to you guys. And then I will see you tomorrow. I'll see how I get on. Obviously, I'm in the Discord, so make sure to send me some pictures of you using the indicator and how it's all going. Look forward to some more suggestions. Thanks for joining me this morning. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.